Paris, 1940, a city already drowning in fear under Nazi occupation. But in the shadows of this war-torn capital, another monster walked freely. He didn't wear a uniform. He wore a doctor's coat. He promised safety, escape, and hope. But instead, he delivered death. His neighbors called him a physician. The newspapers called him a madman. History remembers him as Dr. Satan. Tonight, we uncover the horrifying true story of the doctor who turned wartime Paris into his own house of death and claimed more than 150 lives before the guillotine finally silenced him. Dr. Marcel Petiot was a respected physician in Paris, well-dressed, charming, and always with a confident smile. To his neighbors, he was a healer. To the desperate, he was hope. But behind his office doors, something far more sinister was taking place. He offered Jews and resistance fighters a way out of Nazi-controlled France. They paid him large sums of money for safe passage. Instead of escape, they vanished forever. The people who trusted him would arrive at his house at 21 Rue Le Sueur. They thought it was a safe house. Instead, it was a death trap. Dr. Petiot injected them with cyanide, claiming it was a vaccine for their journey. Within minutes, they were dead. What made Petiot so terrifying was his cover story. He convinced everyone that he was working against the Nazis, that he was part of the resistance, saving lives. But in truth, he was exploiting their fear and murdering them for money. In March 1944, police raided his home. What they found was beyond imagination. Piles of bones, rotting flesh, and dismembered corpses stuffed in lime pits. The house reeked of death, a nightmare in the middle of Paris. After the liberation of Paris, Petiot was finally arrested. In court, he remained calm, even mocking his victims. He claimed he had only killed traitors and Nazis, but the evidence was undeniable. Greed, torture, and sadism defined his crimes. Newspapers called him Dr. Satan. In May 1946, Marcel Petiot was executed by guillotine. As he was led to his death, he smiled and said, "Gentlemen, I have one last piece of advice. Look away. This will not be pretty." In a city already drowning in war, Marcel Petiot turned fear into his weapon, money into his motive, and trust into death. History remembers him not as a doctor, but as Dr. Satan, the serial killer who thrived in the darkest chapter of Paris.